welcome back to the channel. So today I want to share tips and tricks if you live in a small and or rented garden. Even if you don't own your garden, I still feel it's important to make it feel like your own and also make it functional and really pretty year round. I'm hoping that these tips or things that I've been doing in my own spaces will help you and inspire you to make the most of your space, whatever its size really. Let's dive in! I think the number one tip is probably to create garden rooms or areas. That is making sure that each corner of your garden has a specific use case so that you can make the most of it. So that includes identifying your areas for planting, where you want to sit, play areas, where you're going to store all your belongings and all your garden related things, just making sure that everything has a place, everything has a function so that it feels cohesive, but also can help you, for example, make you feel like the space is bigger. If you have a really long and thin garden, for example, creating a planting or a path or hiding part of your garden might help you feel like the space is bigger and lusher. It also creates a sense of mystery and really pulls you in and you want to go and discover that space. I planted some verbena, for example, that was a tall plant, but you could still see through, and that created that sense of a separation. I also had containers that were kind of dividing the area and using tall plants so that again it would create that sense of different spaces. Another way you can do that is by adding also some trellis or some arbors, anything where you can have a climbing plant, and again that creates that visual separation. That does give you more privacy, for example, if you had neighbors or you're near a road, for example, but again that just makes the garden feel overall bigger. When you're thinking about your garden and what you want to bring into it, I would definitely make sure you incorporate an area for storage. That could be outside of the garden, a garage for example, but I feel like having a little shed or a little box or somewhere where you put your pruners, your soil, some pots, everything that you need a little bit for your day-to-day maintenance is easy access. That way you're more likely to do your garden tasks. And in our garden, we didn't landscape it, but the way the owners had done that is by using again that kind of trellising element so that that portion of the garden would be hidden from view when you were looking out towards the garden. If you pick the right climbing plants, for example, that can really be one, a wall of greenery, which is really pretty, and two, again, making sure those unsightly bits can be hidden. Using vertical space is absolutely key. There are so many ways you can do that. The most obvious one, without making any additional purchases, would be to already use the fencing or the walls or any kind of separation with the neighbors you already have, like covering it with beautiful climbing plants. So that can be sweet peas or passion flower or some clematis, climbing roses, jasmine or wisteria, but those can be very vigorous. There's a lot of beautiful climbing plants that can be added to soften the space. You could also purchase some shelving units. I have this little shelf that I use every spring to create beautiful bulb displays because of course that enables you to display more plants in the same footprint. Of course, you could also use a table and create a little cluster of container on there or a plant stand to really make a plant shine. So anything that just makes use of that vertical space. Also, window boxes are a really great option to make use of that vertical space, or any kind of wall-mounted planter. There's really a lot of different styles and those can also vary in size, so that can be also something to consider, just to make the wall of the house look pretty, or pop that on the shed or even on the fence if that's not too heavy. Hanging baskets also are a very classic option. You see them very often to line doorways, for example. They do require a little bit more maintenance, especially in the summer when they need to be watered, but that's still a very lovely option as well. Another thing to be mindful about is the choice of plants. Of course, when you have limited space, every inch of real estate is really important. So I would really recommend to choose plants and add plants to your garden. Well, that you love, of course, but that also have multiple seasons of interest. A tree, something that would bloom in the spring, and then have beautiful structure in summer, have wonderful autumn colors, and then have a beautiful bark or an interesting structure to bring you winter interest. That way, one plant is a centerpiece for 4 seasons. Evergreen plants are also really beautiful. For example, I love camellias. They have beautiful glossy green foliage year-round, but they also flower in late spring, early summer, and that's always absolutely beautiful. I would also recommend choosing plants that have a really long flowering season or that can flower several times during the year. A great example of that are repeat flowering roses that can give you those flushes from spring all the way to very late in the autumn. Things like campanulas also, or lavenders or salvia that bloom for a really long time, and it can also give you a second flush of blooms if you cut them back. Be also very mindful of gearing up your garden for winter interest so that even in the darker months, you still have something beautiful to look at. So that goes with making sure you pick evergreen plants again, picking plants for their structure, or plants that have a beautiful seed head or beautiful winter color, or making sure you include winter flowering shrubs. I also invested in some larger shrubs like a dwarf apple tree, some lilacs that still give me depth and structure in the winter but come into their own in springtime. Also making sure that the plants are suitable for your area in terms of hardiness, but also making sure they will get the right light requirements, and also understanding your soil type are all factors that will ensure success with whatever you choose to add in your garden. So I'll link a video so that you can make sure you know all the basic tips to make sure you have success in your garden and can choose and take care of plants in the right way. If you have a lot of grass in your garden or in your rented garden, I would really recommend trying to grow a wildflower meadow. I should say an annual meadow, because that would give you a lot of color from the first year, but that's also something that's really easy to cut back and bring back to normal looking grass. Actually, about this time of year would be a great time to start covering up the soil with a tarp to kill off the existing sod. And then just with a couple of packets of seed, you can create a beautiful space that's wildlife friendly, that will give you months of color with nothing else to do, and that would be really beautiful to enjoy. So I'll link a couple of videos on creating annual wildflower meadow. That's really one of my favorite projects, and that's also something really suited, for example, to if you live in the UK, that front lawn area that's always a little bit awkward and that's not really functional. You can turn it really easily into a wildlife haven. And then at the beginning of winter, you can just cut it back and it will look like a normal lawn area again, so you won't lose your deposit. If you want that meadow to come year on year, you can also add perennials to the wildflower seed mix, and it's beautiful to see actually that all the new varieties of flowers that will come year on year. Most of my garden is planted in containers because they're easy to move around to create displays, and also because when you move and you want to take plants with you, that's something you can do really easily without having to dig up established plants, especially if they're larger like shrubs. Of course, one of the drawbacks of planting in containers is that it can be a little bit more difficult to maintain plants happy in the long run, especially as they want to grow to their mature size. Make sure you check the mature plant size of the plants that you want to bring in your garden, just to make sure they will fit in the area that you intended them for. In our previous garden, we had a decking area where, of course, I had to have all my plants in containers, but that was an area that was getting full afternoon sun. So in the summer, it was pretty difficult to keep those plants happy because the maintenance alone of having to water several times a week in the peak of summer was something pretty difficult to take on. Again, they're easy to move around and also to replant, so you can continuously every season change your display and make the garden always look at its best. Also, if your garden doesn't get a lot of sun or you still have a lot of shaded areas, don't discard them. There are a lot of beautiful shade plants that you can you can bring it into your space to still make it feel really lush. Plants like hostas and heuchras that will still produce flowers as still, some ferns. You can also add a lot of spring bulbs that are more shade tolerant, like miscari, like daffodils. So don't discard those shade areas because they can still be beautifully planted and made to feel really intentional and be the focus of your garden. Our previous garden, because we had so little space, I also was reusing the planting areas throughout the year to bring in new seasonal interest. Whether it was in containers or in that one flower bed we had that was getting enough sun for sun-loving plants, I was swapping between spring bulbs for blooms from March to May and then swapping to dahlias. So I would dig up and store all my spring bulbs so that I could reuse them year on year. And then planting up dahlias, so that would give me color from July all the way to the frost. So that would still leave me with not much to look at in the winter, but that was still a way that I could refresh my planting and make sure it was always as full of color as possible. If you've been following for a while, you also know that I rely a lot on annual plants to give me a lot of color throughout the year. That's a great way to stretch the garden budget and also reduce maintenance because you typically plant them, apply some long life fertilizer, and then don't have to worry about it again. In most cases, when you don't have to edit. You can start by creating a very beautiful seasonal display with some perennials and then plant them up in the landscape where they can grow to their mature size. That way you can stretch your budget, you still have a really beautiful display, and if you have a slightly bigger area to fill, that could be something that you could do. We really enjoyed having foldable furniture, so foldable chairs and a foldable table, so that it was really easy to bring in when we needed, but also fold away and tuck away in the shed when we were done with it. And one purchase that I regret is our sofa, because of course that wasn't something that we could fold away. And I feel like for the size of the space, decking chairs would have been probably more appropriate. There's also a lot of furniture that comes on wheels, for example, so barbecues or potting tables. So that's also something that I would really encourage you to look into, because that just makes life a lot easier when you have to reshape constantly your garden. And you can also find that in tools, so collapsible tools. So our streamer is collapsible. The Kangoo bag that I use to collect debris is also something that can flat pack and end up taking very little space. Anything that is collapsible is something, again, that I would recommend because it just makes it so much easier to store. So remember, when there is no space, you can still find space. You can make flower beds a little bit bigger. Just sacrifice a little bit of that lawn and turn it into a meadow. Make sure your walls and your fencing are covered with flowers. If you have a balcony, also that railing can be full of flowers. There's always something that you can do to bring in more green and more blooms into your space. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Jacinta. No, look at that. It's just, I think I just woke him up. He looks so annoyed. Oh, he's so cute. So she's hunting.